Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind.
Hi guys, welcome back to Trending This Week. Apologies, I did not post any trending news last week. We're gonna make up for that because there was a few trending last week that I didn't really get a chance to come on here and talk about. But before we get into the swing of the day, thank you so much to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining this Posh Fam train. Do not forget to constantly watch, like, and share these videos with your friends and your family, as well as the channel. And for my existing subbies, thank you so much for staying the course and riding down with me. As you can see, I'm in my mobile space, and let's get into the talking point of the situations that trended last week and this week. This particular story caught my eyes. Now, I was like I think I was on my newsfeed and I saw Lululemon outlet in the US fired 2 of their staff after they reported a robbery. And I'm like, huh? Now make this make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then I went further onto the news, and it says that Lululemon apparently has a zero tolerance policy. Zero tolerance for what? Okay, so their policy states, according to this particular news outlet, that when incidents like this occur, like when there's a robbery, you don't report it, you do nothing, basically shush, because it's going to definitely be filed in as bad debt recoverable, and the insurance will claim from their insurance or pretty much jack up their prices of their, should I say, active wear, and then we get to pay the cost of those items that have been stolen. Well, that's supposed to be the case. But I guess these particular employees have had one too many robbery incidents, and they decided to do something about it, and that was to call the cops, maybe probably chase after the robbers or something, and now they've lost their job. And the reason for losing the job is because they should not have called the cops or reported it. Maybe Lululemon did not want the publicity that's tied to their brand, and I really do not know. And seriously, I'm African, and it's so different because I saw the difference when I came here. Like, if you steal something back home and you are caught, you might just be praying that it's not jungle justice happening to you. That's like the prayer, because you would actually want to be sent to jail because you might have the best chance of survival there. Because if it's jungle justice, God knows what can happen to you, and nobody is going to be held responsible for whatever happens to you. And so when I came into Australia, I kind of realized that, like, when someone goes into a shop to rob, security guards don't do anything. Like, you pretty much let somebody steal whatever they want to steal, provided there's CCTV capturing what they've done. You can literally let them go. You're not even allowed to touch them or even search them. All you're supposed to do is call the cops. Quite scary. And this is in Australia. I don't know about America because, well, with everyone having a gun over there, God knows what happens there. But it kind of just, like, you don't have to fire this staff for, should I say, doing the right thing. It kind of makes you want to think, what is the right thing to do in this case? I don't know. But I'm sharing this so we can talk about it. What do you think? Is Lululemon right to have fired the staff? Are the staff in the wrong here to have called the cops or reported a robbery incident? Again, it is something that is just a biggest belief, and it defiles logic, I would say. But I'll leave that up to you guys to ponder on while we get on to the next trending. Yeah, one of the stories that came up last week was an update regarding Jamie Foxx's health, and this I got from Sherelle's World. I don't know how true this is, but Sherelle's World is reporting that Jamie Foxx apparently or allegedly is now paralyzed and blind following the stroke, which is again alleged that he had or he suffered whilst filming a movie sometime back and early this year. Now, this particular story is alleging that he's now paralyzed as well as blind from clot injury or from brain injury or something. Whilst we don't know the specific of his current health situation, we don't know. It's all speculations, guys. Alleged speculations. Sherelle all seem to think she knows more because she's got an insider information. Now go on Harold's World and probably scroll a few vlogs down. You're going to see this particular post. This is not good news that I would like to share because I actually shared a previous update about his health. I'm praying for Jamie Foxx. Hopefully he recovers from all of this and comes out strong, comes out on the other side strong, and we can, you know, get to see exactly what has happened when he's ready to share his story. In the meantime, guys, just keep saying prayers for this guy, please. Yeah, so somewhere in Australia last week was an earthquake. We experienced an earthquake here in Australia. I think it was 3.8 magnitude earthquake. This is the second earthquake. I was asleep, so I did not feel any tremors. There was no shakes, or if there was a shake, I did not feel anything. But I got to work. I was like, everyone was like, did you feel anything? Did you feel? I'm like, no. And then I saw the news. Well, guys, earthquake. I do not know what preparations are in the event of an earthquake. So guys, those of you who live in an earthquake prone region, come on my comment section and tell us how to prepare for an earthquake. What sort of emergencies you're meant to do? Where do you run to? Do you hide? Where do you hide in? I don't know. And now, speaking of some good news down under, I just saw on the news flashed on my DM that there's this particular offensive flag. It's called the Nazi flag. It's now being banned in Australia, and I'm saying hallelujah for that. Like, common sense sometimes is not so common. Why would this flag even be allowed to even exist in this century? This is 2022. We should not be having these conversations. Like, it should be a no-brainer. Well, I am glad that it is now banned. So if you have this flag in possession, burn it and go get help. And if you are thinking of perpetrating such discriminatory flags, you are going to be caught by the police and you're going to get fined, booked, even jailed. I don't know. But good one to common sense that this particular flag will not be flown, or it's now illegal to have it in your possession. With that said, let's get into a fun trending story that I saw on my newsfeed. Now I saw this news thanks to the ShadeRoom on Instagram for this particular story and a few of my stories I'm going to be talking about. So it was reported that there's this Teresa Nyasi Kayombo or Kumbaya or something. She's 123, and that wasn't the highlight of the story. The highlight is the fact that she is still a virgin. There's a video, so hop on to the ShadeRoom and watch this video of this 123-year-old lady telling us that she held her virginity up until now, and she is still looking for that love. She has not given up on the search for the love of her life. And I'm gonna say this, good on you, lady. The reason you're still alive, 123 years and counting, is because you kept yourself. It's because you have stayed away from the drama. Woman, just keep holding on, okay? There is nothing left. I can guarantee you it is nothing but heartaches, okay? So get it together. Keep holding it. You have done well. 123 years and still a virgin. Good on you. What I think should be happening is we should find a way to get a GoFundMe account to support this woman, because from the video, she was living in a not so glamorous situation. She was sleeping on the floor. She was living in a state of poverty. So for me, let's soldier on and find help and give this woman the help that she deserves. She is a queen. Let's celebrate her, guys. Let's celebrate her. Such a fun share for me. And now to a few heartbreaking trending topics. Last week, I don't know her, but it was reported that a popular YouTuber who was also featured in a reality show, I think Wild and Wet or Wet and Wild, passed away following complications from a medical procedure she got done, aka mommy makeover. Now, I think her name is Jackie O. Her partner is a popular rapper. I have no idea. Guys, I am from the Beyonce era, so I know nothing about this particular rapper. Okay? So, don't Yeah, Mos Def was the rapper that I knew when I was a Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg. Yeah, those are the ones that I know. This one, I don't know. Okay, these are probably the Gen Z rappers. Okay, anyway, the story is she had gone in for a procedure, and for some reason, the details are not exactly forthcoming or they're not foolproof. But I got information from Jasmine, the JasmineBrand, Cheryl's World Online, TMZ also broke the news, and the ShadeRoom on Instagram also. Like, this is major news all through last week. And there's this particular page I follow, this, I think, Sojourn Made Curves on Instagram. It's a private account. You have to request to be on their space. And she broke the news first and foremost. And I sort of like, I'm not sure. I didn't want to say anything. They have reliably broken some major celebrity news in the past. But again, it's not my place to report on things like this. All I would say, the advice I'm going to be giving out from this situation is research your surgeon. Research your surgeon. Do your research, guys. Make sure you cross the T's and dot the I's before you decide to go under the knife. Because again, these are all risky procedures. They come with their various risks. And when you sign up for some things like this, you have to know what's involved and what's at stake. And yeah, it is what it is. Rest in peace to this young lady, and her 3 kids are going to be the one carrying the burden as they grow on and go forth into adulthood. So it is what it is. Again, guys, do your due diligence. It is for your personal safety, as well as those who you're going to be leaving to, you know, be comforted if anything happens or if anything goes wrong. And with that said, and there is the final trending topic for today that I'm going to be talking about. And this is a very sad one. It's coming again from America. Reported this from, I'm crediting this story from I'm crediting the ShadeRoom for this story. So I saw on my newsfeed about a lady called Ajike. Ajike. It sounds very African. The name sounds very African. Maybe she has like a Nigerian, whatever. The name sounds very African. Ajike Owens. Now, it was breaking news. She was shot, you know. I don't even know how to say this, but how the news unfolded, a woman with 4 kids was shot dead. Okay? And story began to emerge following the shooting. And the story goes, there's been an ongoing domestic dispute between neighbors. Now, the neighbor in question is a white lady by the name, I don't want to call her name because I really don't want to get involved in all of this mess, but I'm going to put a photo here so you can see. Apparently, they've had a feud going on, okay? This is aside from the lady who is now the alleged perpetrator of this violent crime. The kids were out playing, and this lady had some choice words for these kids. They were racially motivated, and it's been an ongoing feud from what we are hearing. So the kids left the playground where they were, and I think forgot an iPad. One decided they're going to go back to get the iPad. And upon getting there, found out that the iPad was no longer there. This particular neighbor has picked up the iPad and then went on to break the screen and not give it back. So this child went to the mom to report, "Mom, this is what has happened." And the mom are like, "Okay, we're going to go meet this woman to retrieve my property," all right? Apparently, on getting to the door or just knocking, she got shot through the door. Like, the lady on the other side of the door did not open the door. All she did was open fire to this woman and shot her through the door. And she apparently lost her life. I don't know what to say or what to make of this. I really don't want to speculate on things that I know nothing about. But it does not look good from my vantage point. And there was an uproar in America because the woman in question who committed this heinous crime wasn't arrested. I guess because of the laws in America that, you know, supports the ownership of gun and the right to defend yourself and all that nitty-gritty around it. But in this particular case, she was not a threat. She wasn't armed. There was no physical contact made because the only contact was knocking on the door that was still closed before fire was opened through the door. So it's like, how do you describe an imminent threat when there's no perceived threat? It's very interesting. But I'm glad that the uproar has led to the police officers in America to make an arrest, and she is now under arrest, and I guess and hopefully justice is served for Ajike Owens and her kids. I don't know, guys. Every day on the news, you tune on the news, it's one form of violence or the other coming from across over there. What this tells us is we need to start making better choices. We need to start desensitizing people and helping them understand that aggression isn't solved, or conflict resolution take various forms, and the first form of conflict resolution is not attack. Negotiations and have negotiations. Basically, avoidance is also a conflict resolution, guys. You negotiate, you talk it out, or you walk away. It doesn't have to get to the point where someone is losing their life. Why are we so angry? Now we are that angry, we can use our words. We know better. What is the value of human life when the only thing you're thinking about is, I don't want this person to exist anymore because I am upset? We need to start thinking for ourselves. Think before you act. Think about the consequences before you act. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Show some sort of empathy before you act. That's all I'm going to say, guys. And rightly so, as I conclude this, stay focused and please stay safe. Until next time.